So we're just roughing what will be the bearing spigot down to its desired dimension. Pretty soon we're going to have to switch to a finishing just so that we can reach in far enough, because we start getting interference with the tailstock, unfortunately. We are going for 15.05 millimeters, and we are, unfortunately, because this is work hardened 4140, it's old sucker rod, we are going to have to take it nice and slow. It does leave a nice finish though. Right, so after checking this one for run out in the Morse 3:2 adapter in the headstock, I know the headstock has got less than 0.01 millimeter run out, so that's less than a half a thou. I've got no run out, or maybe 0.01, so maybe half a thou run out here, but I've got nearly 0.08 of a millimeter run out here, which is like almost, it's like 3.5 thou out here. I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to make a new one, and I don't have the meat on here to actually take it down to correct that. I had thought about leaving it in the headstock and just taking a very light skim cut, but I've only got 0.03 of a millimeter, which is like 1.25 thou to play with, and that's just not going to be enough. So we're going to make a new one. This one goes in the box of shame. Well, the drawer of shame, but anyway. So face this off, drill and do a center support, take this down to 24 millimeters. I've still got the compound set up for taper. Turn the taper, and then once we've got that fitted properly in the adapter, take the chuck off, fit everything in the headstock, and then we'll turn the spigot in the headstock so it's got as little run out as we can humanly achieve on an 87-year-old lathe. So let's do this. Clean up. Oh, good. Cleaned up enough. Well, I guess practice makes perfect, right? We can do this twice, we can do this as many times as we need to. For those wondering, this is an and I probably mentioned this when making the previous one, the steel is sucker rod. And as such is somewhat work hardened, if not already hardened and tempered to some extent. I need to clean that, there's a little bit of swarf in there. It's getting time for a new live center, I think. This one is starting to get a bit boogered up. Okay. That's better. I mean, it's a stringy chip, but whatever. Alright, so 24 neat. Well, let's lay out how much we need down to size. We'll go with 70 millimeters. There. I don't know what this hell wool is, but God. And I'll bring you back when we're there, because currently we've got another 6 millimeters or so. Alright, so we've got about half a millimeter to go. So I'm going to take in small bites. Okay, Take it first. All right, 18.15. $17.94. Alright, so this is our last pass. It gets us 17.83 or 84. Unfortunately, it's such a light cut, I'm getting a hell of a lot of stringy chippiness. Going for 13 again. Okay, 15. Got 2 more of those and we should be right. 14. Oh, that's right, I'm taking only 0.1s, not 0.2s. I'm going to leave that where it is, because realistically it just has to be somewhere around that 13 millimeters, and we are at 13.05. Happy with that. So, now we begin. Almost. Now we go light. Two and a half thou. Let's get rid of this before it gets thrown in my face. Alright, so pairing it to that one. Probably about another 2 thou. Maybe a bit more. One and a half. That's about it. Yep, that's about it. Okay, now begins the tedious bit, the hand fitting. Alright, let's get some bearing glue in here. This thing is hot, so it's letting it spread a bit. Oh, there you go. It's not bad contact actually. We just need to bring it that way a bit. And we're at that point where the amount we have to take off is so small that I think we're going to do it behind it. Actually pretty good still. Okay. I have about probably less than 1,000 to come off. And we'll keep nutting away at it. Get a 600 grit just to make it look pretty. Okay. It's a little more stick out than I wanted, but I've got some visible there, so the wedge will work. And the ejector in the lathe should work. Let's have a look. And we have blue end to end. I doubt you can see it. So I'm happy with that. Right, next job. We set it in the adapter, take the forge jaw off, and we machine up the spigot. And that way it should be 100% true to that taper, or as true as my equipment will allow it. Hunting for a little more accuracy, and that is like 0.01 of a millimeter, so that's 0.4 of a thousandth run out there. So with that set up, I'm now going to turn the spigot, and that should be as close to on axis as I can. Now, just for those wondering, this is my spindle nose. Again, less than 1,000th to run out there. Okay. making sure. I think I need, oh, that is exactly how much I have to play with. Okay. Alright, so currently 23 millimeters, and we're going for 15.02-ish. So, let's get some stuff off. Alright, I was just about to face off a little bit, but I just checked the measurement, and I'm actually exactly on. I'm just going to give it a very, very light, you can find the file. So we're exactly on length, exactly on size. We've got 0 run out. So now you need to drill it out and tap it for M6. Anyway. Annoyingly, these taps don't actually have a center divot. They've got a spike and they're not tall enough to get through this, and I don't particularly feel like grinding to increase the flat size on these, even though it only needs to be a couple of millimeters. But to be fair, this doesn't actually need to be 100% square. We're aiming for 16. Hard part with this is that I won't have a lot of clamping surface for it. So that is at 18.5. .01. I think that's good. I think we're good. Okay. Okay, contact. Set up my stop. Okay, so we've set a stop. We're just making contact. This will be 1,000th. Okay. See what we're reading. Got another 1,000. Now, I'm not a fan of this particular one. Okay. 1.377. That is within, so that is 34.976. See if the bearing wants to start. Okay, feels good. Just take a light spring pass and then we'll chamfer that. Yep, just wants to start. I really need to clean up. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh, bit lighter of a fit, that one. I'm not too sure how well this is going to show up, but that is within, depending on how hard I apply, how much force I apply to the spindle to get it to turn, because the bearings are still a bit tight, between 0.06 and 0.04. So that's pretty close. So that the run out on the chuck in and of itself is usually around 0.05. Now I know the back plate was running out 0.02-ish of a millimetre. So if I'm getting somewhere within the additive ballpark, I think I'm good. Bearing in mind this is only a setup tool, it's not for turning against, well it shouldn't be. And it still relies on you setting up the rest of the lathe as accurately as possible. So that's where I'm leaving off on this one. Been a fun little project. And I hope you all enjoyed the trip. Don't know if you can see it on the dial. I mean, this is worn drill casing, so it's been used, so I expect it's out of round. But that's within, depending on where you are. All right. True test. Let's see if we can cut a quick steady band on this. Ultimately, that's its purpose. You can see the divot that I was getting massive readings from. There's that low spot. And another massive divot there. Now I know you're getting take off. That's terrible. And then, as you all have seen, you set up your steady, machine the ends, do what you need to on the inside, because you've now got that available to do. But it facilitates getting things like this set up. And this is pretty much at the limit of what this lathe will do. So, there we go.